I tried to watch it. I really did. I tried to watch it, and I'm probably going to continue to try and watch it because it's football and I like football. But let's be honest, the Club World Cup is a lot of bull, isn't it? This expanded FIFA Club World Cup, then I guess it's a new thing for 2025, but, you know, I guess it's the next big thing. It's just an expanded version of what they used to have. So they can have a world champion of domestic clubs. It's a showdown of 32 clubs. Fans across the world, I think, are pretty united, apart from maybe the Americans, in seeing this as a complete and utter farce. After a grueling season, players are now getting dragged into a month-long cash grab tournament that nobody asked for. What's the result going to be? Burnt out stars, complete mismatches, dubious invitations, and a tournament that undermines the absolute spirit of fair competition. So here's 5 reasons why the Club World Cup is, frankly, a lot of bullshit. Number 1, brutal scheduling. When a player's meant to get a rest, the end of next season is a World Cup. It's been a grueling season, expanded European season with the new Europa League and Champions League formats for most players, and certainly a lot of the players that are involved in the FIFA Club World Cup. There was a round of internationals last week. United didn't help this, and they're certainly not getting away scot-free from this by having a post-season tournament. You know, I know players are highly paid, but it diminishes the product. You can't just turn these lads out day in, day out and expect that you're going to see good football. You're going to see more and more that sort of trend towards just the pure physical players and those that are able to just meet the demands of playing week in, week out, and you're going to see less and less of the flair players because they're not predictable, they're not reliable, and you're going to start selecting for players that can just run. That's not what football is. It's not an endurance event. It's an expression of skill and risk. What FIFA are doing, they're expecting people to jump straight from a season end into a 4-week Club World Cup on another continent with zero downtime. You know, United's, like I said, the postseason thing that we had in Asia underscored the insanity. Players flew out hours after our final Premier League game, played 2 friendlies at walking pace. That was just an absolute farce from a sporting spectacle point of view. And then immediately had to report for international duty. The PFA has voiced concerns and alarm that these games add extra mental and physical fatigue to exhausted bodies already. Kevin De Bruyne, he blasted it in this cram it in approach, said that there's only 3 weeks between the Club World Cup final and the first Premier League match. How are you supposed to get this in? 80 games next season, potentially. He even spoke about the fact that money speaks louder than players' voices for both FIFA and UEFA. Players are human, and I know that they're extremely highly paid humans, but there is a limit to what the bodies can take, and I think you're diminishing the product. You know, take it into the product side of things. I think you're diminishing the product. Very well paid, yes, but there is a limit to what they can take and still be able to perform in an entertaining fashion, because that's ultimately what everyone's here for. Fixture congestion isn't just a buzzword. It's visible in the amount in injuries, in the drained sort of beige performances that you see. Why on earth have you just wedged in a brand new tournament into such a tiny window when players should be recovering? It's a recipe for burnout and sloppy football. How much more can you ask of players? You know, managers, pundits, people who love winning trophies, question is if it's worth even having this thing. And because of the prize money that's associated with it, clubs are going to have to take it seriously. You know, people are already complaining about too many games. FIFA's decision to allow this, plough ahead with this extra tournament after a long season is just, it's downright brutal and absolutely tone deaf. And the prices of the tickets. Number 2, mismatches. Absolute farcical mismatches. 10-0 opening game. Bayern Munich absolutely demolished Auckland City. 10-0. 10-0. How is that a competitive tournament? And I'll be honest with you, they didn't even try. You know, it was just absurd. Bayern Munich's squad of superstars against a part-time team of teachers, students, real estate agents from New Zealand. They had 31 shots, 17 on target, which means they only saved 7. 72% possession, which felt like more, to be honest. It was not a good expression of football. If this Club World Cup is designed to showcase the depth of talent in global football, you absolutely failed, didn't you? You get a scoreline which makes a mockery of so-called high-level competition. The annoyance here is that for a tournament that lacks sporting integrity, Auckland actually earned their spot by winning the Oceania Champions League. The problem is they are ranked 4,957th in the world. They're not even the top club in their own city. Several of their players would not get time off work or could not get time off work to even travel to the US for the tournament. You are talking about part-time players. What is the point in such hopeless mismatches? What is the point? Is anyone excited to see this glorified training? Honestly, Bayern would have a harder time playing their own under-21s. You can't call this the best 32 teams in the world when one of the teams is just inside the top 5,000. And I would love to be able to figure out where Paddock are in this, because I bet we're not. I bet we're closer to Auckland than Auckland are to Bayern by a lot, which is mental, innit? Because you imagine if Paddock turned up at this tournament, Paddock or hashtag turning up at this tournament would be fucking farcical. But we would be closer to Auckland than I are to Bayern Munich. Let me tell you a little bit of something that I've learned in my experience working in construction. It can be an absolute headache. You're trying to juggle invoices, you're trying to juggle deliveries, you're trying to juggle manpower, and it can all get a little bit too much. Let me introduce you to Priceworks. It's a little bit of kit that's going to sort out everything for you. And I wish I had this when I was on site. Whether you're pricing up jobs, sending invoices, or you're sorting the materials out, Priceworks has got your back. Trust me, no more messing about, just cracking on with the work. Let the software take care of all the paperwork. And it's bang on for all trades. Whether it's plumbers, roofers, scaffolders, landscapers, Priceworks keeps everyone top of their game. And here's the best bit, you can directly support my channel and help your business run smoother on site by going checking out Priceworks. Let Priceworks give you a hand. Sign up at the link in the description, and trust me, you're gonna wonder how you ever managed without it. Priceworks, build your business better at priceworks.co.uk. Number 3, Dubious Invitations. Oh, Inter Miami's golden ticket. Another reason that this tournament just stinks is that the teams are based on boardroom decisions and star power rather than sporting merit. And Inter Miami, a club that by normal standards has no business calling themselves anything like world champions, they didn't win the CONCACAF Champions League. They didn't win their own league's playoff. So why is Lionel Messi's team in here? Well, the answer is Lionel Messi. FIFA mysteriously opened a host slot, and with US hosting the tournament, Infantino decided that Inter Miami qualified because of their outstanding and consistent 34-match campaign. In the MLS, the champions are decided by playoffs. Winning the regular season supporter shield thing that they get is nothing apart from a sausage roll. Suddenly, FIFA deemed Miami one of the best clubs in the world, deserving participants. Are you sure it wasn't nothing to do with TV? Other clubs in the MLS are absolutely fuming at the blatant favouritism. Even the MLS commissioner hinted that FIFA went a bit rogue on that pick. Inter Miami's co-owner, George Mas, unsurprisingly insisted that there was no controversy, but of course he would. His team's just hit the fucking jackpot, haven't they? FIFA basically gerrymandered Messi's club into the tournament to cash in on the fact that Lionel Messi can play in this tournament. It was a commercial stunt. You can't call this anything other than a commercial stunt. And Barcelona didn't make the cut. Liverpool didn't make the cut because only 2 clubs per country can go from Europe. Yeah, into Miami. Come on down. For me, that totally undermines any legitimacy that this competition might have had. It's basically a glorified pre-season tournament when you just decide who's coming in. When does finishing 11th in your league, which is where they were before Messi came, qualify for you for a world title shot? It's absolutely shameless Messi obsession from FIFA, like it was at the World Cup. You know, when he comes away with the best player in the tournament when he did nothing to earn that title. Blatant hypocrisy. Number 4, It undermines other competitions and it undermines clubs' pre-seasons. From a sporting point of view, I'm not asked about the commercial pre-season value. But this expanded Club World Cup isn't happening in a vacuum. The football club calendar is a stacked one. And this bloated edition, a month long, no less, literally is going to devalue other events. It's going to devalue the Premier League because of the way it's going to start. It's going to devalue European competition because of the time off that's required. You know, summers in the odd years were a valuable reset. You know, last year we had the Euros. This year you've got the Club World Cup. Next year you've got the World Cup. When does it end? You know, you've got all of those established tournaments. Copa America has fell into line. You've got the Euros, the Gold Cup. They all happen because they've been established in the calendar, and we know that you're going to get a bit of an off-season. Clubs' pre-season plans have just been thrown into absolute chaos. Instead of training camps and maybe a bit of a warm-up match, some of the top teams are going to be still slugging it out in so-called competitive marathon in the US. Real Madrid, they've admitted that there is no time to schedule any friendlies after the Club World Cup. If they go far, that's their pre-season. So it's basically an extension of last season because they've not had any time off, which means last season is going to finish mid-July when you normally start your pre-season. The English Premier League refused to delay next season's start to give any players recovery time because of the World Cup, which happens at the end of next season. And the Club World Cup finalists, if there is some, are going to have barely 30, well, if there's some from England even, are going to have 34 days between the final whistle and the start of their own domestic league. That's absurd. Because that's meant to have, you know, the mental reset, the physical reset, and then the rebuild. At what point do them players get to improve their fitness and try to hit the next level? Coaches are livid and should be. Players are livid. A lot of clubs view it as annoying. The prize money is a massive carrot that people are having dangled in front of them. I don't think anyone is going to crow about being world champions if they actually win the thing. I think the money would be nice, but this is a unsustainable calendar abuse. The global football schedule was already probably beyond breaking point. FIFA have just dumped a giant tournament in on top, and getting to call yourself world champion I don't think is enough of a mitigation for this nonsense. And number 5, and for me, the most egregious one. Do you remember the European Super League? We got it. You know, when everyone united to slam this greedy close shop competition for elite clubs, well, the expanded Club World Cup is pretty much, in my opinion at least anyway, FIFA's answer to it. You know, it's just a World Super League. It's a product that nobody seems to like. You've got 12 of the 32 slots handed to European teams. So, you know, hello again, usual suspects. Most of them got in by some arbitrary rankings rather than by actually being champions of anything. It's a tournament that has been entirely designed to maximise sponsorship and TV money, not sporting purity. Infantino clearly has long dreamed of a lucrative club competition that is under his control, because obviously FIFA and UEFA, I don't know if you realise this, they're actually quite deep-seated rivals with each other. They've put $1 billion prize pool behind it and a broadcast deal that's supposedly around about the same figure. It's obscene money that's being used to essentially bribe the big clubs to get on board and shut down any dissent about it. So as a result, the clubs, even if privately they've got misgivings about it, well, they're getting soothed because of the big fat fucking cash injection that's coming their way. It's telling, I think, that the interest from fans, from sponsors, from neutral broadcasters has been one of, I was going to say tepid, lukewarm response so far, but it's been almost downright ridicule. FIFA assumes that we'll watch anything if the stakes or the money is big enough. But it's bullshit. What makes the World Cup good to watch is the sporting integrity of it. What makes the Champions League good to watch certainly was the sporting integrity of it. It was the greatest competition in the world, and you fuck with it for money, for more games, for some fucking you play them and you play them. Like, how do you not play every team in your fucking league? Didn't we just reject the idea that football should be an exclusive playground for the rich? But by stealth, FIFA's Club World Cup has just brought back that very idea, dressed it in a cloak of World Championship prestige. But it's cynical, it's greedy, and it's exactly the sort of shit that we should have been fucking protesting and rioting against. No one wanted it. No one needed it. FIFA needed their own thing that got the clubs involved rather than just them being the sole arbiters of international competition. But it's a load of old cake, and it's absolute bullshit. I know it. You know it. Give us your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.